Good day, or I suppose, hello everybody. This is the Package Group Weekly Sync meeting for the 16th of December 2019. And we are going to kick off. I believe David has the first item.
Yes, so my items are the follow-ups from the architecture meeting of last week. So the first idea was how about we store all the package metadata in the same and generic table. Well, after reading the issue pointed by Dan and Steve, I believe, I switched my mind. Actually, the current philosophy is more flexible for future use cases. So, well, sometimes you have good ideas and sometimes you don't. Okay, so the second point was an idea from Steve, I think, having a central metadata function on the package model to read the metadata and return it. That's a good idea, and I've opened an issue for discussion. And the last point, the crazy idea to use dynamic keys with getText. I guess it will not work out. It's really against the philosophy of getText. Since getText works directly with the text that has to be translated, so you don't work with keys like the one I put as an example, like package, maven, app name, whatever. It works directly with the text to be translated, so the key approach will not work. So another bad idea. Well, on to Nathan.
Yeah, so as of, I think today we're kind of saying officially, I'm going to go back to my role on release as an individual contributor. So in the interim, Dan's going to be taking over. And Dan will, so like Nick and Nico will report to Dan. And he'll run whatever, like the front end grooming meetings if you decide to keep doing those. So yeah, if there's any questions, feel free to ask. I haven't looked in the doc to see if, oh yeah, Nico asked about the regular grooming front end issues. Nico, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, I can verbalize if we are going to still have a sync meeting to groom front end issue, or it's better not. And then I think Dan has an answer there.
Yeah, I mean, my sense is if you both find it useful to have that regular chat, then that's totally fine. And I'm happy to go async if you. It's just effectiveness. If we're getting the results we need out of having that meeting, great. If we can do it remote async, that'd be great. So it's up to you both, I think.
Yeah, I don't have strong opinion about it, so maybe we can try async. If it doesn't work, we can schedule a meeting. I don't know, up to Nick as well.
Yeah, I feel the same. I don't really have a strong opinion either way, so I guess by default I'd prefer async, as it makes the way it should be. So yeah, I'm happy to try that, and then if we decide that isn't working, we can reevaluate.
Cool, that sounds like a plan. All right, we'll follow up elsewhere with this, I think. But I think Steve has an important point. Go ahead, Steve.
Just saying thanks, Nathan, for all of your help with our team, and it's been fun. And certainly don't be a stranger in our channel, and you can always drop into our little social chats.
Sounds great.
Yeah, and I just want to thank you for saying that, Steve. I totally blanked on thanking Nathan for his hard work, as is typical of me, apparently. I apologize, Nathan, and thank you so much for contributing and being part of the team. It's been pretty awesome to have you get involved, so thank you very much. Over to you, Nico.
Oh, yes. So as of today, I started the path as a trainee maintainer. So if you have front-end stuff that needs a review, send them over. Very appreciated. And the other thing, if you have a failing review build CNG job, just restart them. It should be fixed. And over to Tim.
Okay, yeah, my first one was our maturity plan for the package registry for is set to hit viable in January 22nd. And the one thing that we need to do to get there is enabling CI job token support for Conan. I didn't originally have that in the 12.7 milestone, so it's a last minute add, but I didn't know if maybe we could squeeze that in and then hit that maturity target. I guess it's a little tactical to be talking about now, but I just wanted to make sure I brought it up earlier because I think we're.
So it's got a package triage label on it, but it's set for workflow scheduling, and it's got package active on it as well. So that suggests that someone needs to go review, backend engineer needs to go review it and make sure it's actually ready to work on before we can be confident with it.
Yeah, it is. I forgot to remove those labels when I put the package active on it.
Cool.
Okay, so I could, is it okay if I slide it in 12.7?
I don't remember what else is in 12.7, but I don't see why not.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is, I think from a process standpoint, I think this is going to happen where we have stuff like this come up where it's kind of important. But I think we need to just be a little careful when we're putting things in that we have to get done at last minute like this, because it can impact stuff. But the way we've built our workflow, it should be possible. It should just be the next thing people pick up because we're prioritizing planning priority and then package triage. But we do really want to use that package triage label pretty sparingly. So we don't want to, you know, I know Tim and you and I have talked about this already, so I don't mean to, this isn't meant to be a like, hey, here's news for you, but just to be clear with everyone, that label should be used sparingly, and that's sort of second order priority for us. And so that might include security, you know, security bugs or bugs generally. It could include stuff like this. It could, and it should include cross-functional dependencies within the team. So if Nico needs some help from a Rails person, or Haley needs help from Rails, or inverse, you know, the inverse of that, then this would get that label. Does anyone have any questions about that process? Nope. Cool.
Okay. To my other question, I think maybe Dan was more for you. I think it looks like the milestone is all set, so I'm okay to record my kickoff video for 12.7, I think.
Yeah, there was just a couple of questions that I had on Friday afternoon on 2 of the items that we had, and I just need to make sure. I'm sure it got followed up on, but it's 7:09 a.m. where I am, so I might check on that in a minute.
It's late, right? Sorry.
I mean, my first meeting was at 6:30, so.
Exactly.
But I think we're good. You could start, and I'm going to go through and make sure. I don't think there's anything that I'm concerned about there. Over to you, Ian.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't sure if it was my turn yet. I just wanted to share with everyone that the solution validation, we have one more interview coming up in an hour. And assuming nothing explodes or goes wrong during that, I think we can call adding metadata from GitLab into the UI validated in terms of a solution, which is really great. Nothing has been confusing. Nobody's been totally thrown off of the ideas we presented. There's just some feedback here and there that really aligns with a lot of the feedback I already got from the team, which is also kind of exciting. So good news for everyone. That was it.
I think that deserves an explosion emoji.
I always appreciate your emojis. Thank you.
All right, so I think that's all we've got to cover in the meeting this morning. Does anyone want to discuss any of this stuff before we stop the recording? Nope. All right, well, thank you everyone for joining us from wherever you are located, and I hope everyone has a great rest of their day.